Hello and good evening. It is Tuesday tea time with Dorarena, and I want to welcome all our first time viewers and those that may be watching the replay. Welcome to Tuesday tea time. We are so happy to have you join us tonight, and we're presented from Women of Wisdom. We're a nonprofit organization here to bridge the generational gap between the older and the younger generation so that we can pass on vital knowledge. So, if you have never heard of us, look us up on our website and become a website member, and you could check out some of our events and photos and things of that nature. All right. So I normally I share with you my tea, and I'm doing sweet tea tonight. I'm doing a cold tea, and so I do invite you to grab whatever beverage you like and that you would fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight. All right. So I have my butterfly cup from my sweet daughter-in-law Jeanette. Shout out to her and her sister Angela for my cup with my saucer. It's one of my favorites. Tea time. Oh, that's good. Sweet tea. Okay, so if you were not with us last week, let me kind of update you a little bit. We last week we talked about the two paths of criticism. So this is part two, and we talked about how criticism is, well, let me just put this up here so we'll just go over that real quick. Okay, there are two definitions for criticism. Okay, one is to assess and evaluate, and the other is to express disapproval based on perceived faults or mistakes. Okay, and what I want to encourage you is that regardless to what ever criticism we may be receiving, we can benefit from both based off of how we decide to receive that criticism. So, uh, there goes my Tuesday tea time. My topic back up there. Okay, so it's up to us to decide whether or not, we want to receive that in a negative connotation or a positive one. And I know that I mentioned before, for me, criticism didn't matter whether it was constructive criticism or deconstructive criticism. It was hard for me to receive it because I had been criticized most of my life anyway. So I had a low self-esteem problem. And so even those that had good intentions to help me improve in life, it was still hard for me to see that, that's what, you know, they were trying to help me improve in life until I came to the place where I thought, this popped in my mind. Okay, is there any truth in what's being said? Now, regardless to whether, we want to hear it or not, is there any truth in what's being said? And so when you look at it like that, that puts it on a positive note, and it brings us to a higher level of maturity. Because like I said last week, if somebody's bringing criticism to us, whether it's on the job or school or somewhere else in public, we want to make sure that we don't make things worse. Plus, we want to keep the right, uh, we want to preserve our reputation, not destroy our reputation, because we don't know how to respond to criticism correctly. You know, the wiser thing to do is just to take a moment, calm down, catch your breath before you respond. Some things don't even deserve a response. Sometimes you just gotta kind of swallow your pride and just listen, and then evaluate that, assess it, and see whether or not it applied. Eat the hay and throw away the sticks. Everybody does not have to know whether or not you received that or didn't receive it. But let me tell you this, it will show up later in your behavior, whether you received it or not. And if you're going to walk in wisdom, it's better for you to just calm down and take a moment, think about it, and, contemplate your next move. Do not be emotionally responsive to anything. Always take time to think. And you can't tell me, oh, that just came out of my mouth. No, it went through your thoughts before it came out of your mouth. So if you said it because you wanted to say it, but you have to be careful about that kind of stuff, because you're either going to look mature or immature, and wisdom will always put you on the right path. It will not have you looking like you're immature and don't know how to handle circumstance and situation and people's opinions, because everybody always have an opinion. There's some people that are just highly opinionated. And depending on where that criticism is coming from, if it's a stranger or something like that, it doesn't really affect us all that much. It's the people that are close to us that really cuts deep. And you need to know how to handle that so that you don't just like embrace the hurt of it, but evaluate it and see whether or not it applies to you. And that way, whether you need to reject it or you need to receive it. And either way, that is helping you to grow in life and walk in wisdom. Okay. I do have a quote for you tonight that is just, you know, I think all my quotes that I find are good, or I wouldn't use them anyway. So here we go again. I think this is a good quote. It says, there is only one way to avoid criticism. Come on now. Do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing. Okay? That's Albert Hubbard. Okay. So, you know, to do nothing, say nothing, and be nothing is to accept failure. Nothing beats a failure but a trier. And you have to face, your fears in life, regardless to whatever you decide to do in life. There's always going to be somebody that has something to say. And half the time, that person is intimidated because you're doing something that they don't believe they can do. And sometimes people criticize other people because they have an issue, not because you do, because they do. So you got to assess, evaluate the criticism, and find out whether or not, don't respond to something that doesn't even apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, then you just, exit out and don't even get caught up in that person's thoughts. You know, me personally, myself, I've had to learn that, you know, people say stuff all the time. You know, people falsify information, people that really don't know you, that think they know you, they're saying things about you, but you can't allow other people's idiosyncrasies to determine your future. You just, you know, you got to know you, and you got to know when to turn the head and close your ears and not even receive some things that some people are saying. You know, if you're the type of person that you are a people pleaser, you know, you will struggle with this, but you can get past that by discovering who you are, what you enjoy doing in life, and pursue that. And do not allow anybody else to interfere in your assignment. When I first got called to do Women of Wisdom, oh my goodness, it was like an explosion went off, and I got so much flack behind that. I got so much criticism behind it, and at one point, it just about knocked me off my feet, and I just said, "Forget it. If it takes all of this, I am not doing that." And then I had to come to the realization that this is my assignment. This is not no one else's assignment. I'm responsible to make sure that my assignment is fulfilled. No one else heard, no one else, it wasn't given to anybody else. So your thoughts and your opinions about what I'm doing does not rise above my own, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I mean, I'm already being taken out of my comfort zone. And a lot of people that don't want to move out of their comfort zone, they will criticize you for moving out of your comfort zone. But as you continue to move forward, you are going to advance, and you are going to uh, hurdle those fears and use the criticism for your benefit. And that's what I've learned to do, is to use the criticism for my benefit and to assess, okay, where is this coming from, and who is this coming from, and why are they sharing these things with me? And once you answer those questions in your mind, that gives you direction, that gives you wisdom to know how to handle the situation so that you don't turn out to look like the fool. Sometimes when you just, calm down and hold your head up and keep moving forward, regardless to all the words and all the things that are saying that comes across your path, and you're not moved, you're not watching it, it benefits you. And some people will just leave you alone because they know that you cannot be deterred from what your assignment is. And that's what we got to get a hold to, is we got to get a hold to what we're supposed to be doing, not what everybody think that we're supposed to be doing. That's why you got to know yourself and not get caught up in what everybody else is saying about you. Yes, there are some people that can tell you about yourself, and but you are the one that have to bear witness to whether that is the truth or not. And sometimes we are unaware of what the truth is about ourselves. But if we would take the time to evaluate what's being said, we would know. We would know, because that's important that you know, not everybody else. Okay, so let's go on and Let's see what else I got for you. Okay, so this is what this means. If you want to avoid criticism or judgment, you must refrain from taking action, expressing opinions, and pursuing goals. Now, you tell me what that means. That means that you are not going to go anywhere in life if you try to avoid criticism, because criticism is going to be out there. It's everywhere you go, and you got to know how to use it for your benefit. Okay, let me share this last thing for you because we got to close real quick. Before we do that, let's take a quick tea time break. Tea time. That's good. Okay, listen to this. Read this with me. Criticism has the power to foster personal growth. Whoo, you know that's whoo. Yes. While it may be tempting to avoid, embracing it allows us to gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and expand our potential for success. Now, that's self explanatory, but you put that into practice, you walk in wisdom with this information, and I guarantee you success in life. Don't let someone else that doesn't want to pursue their dream cause you to not pursue your dream behind their criticism because you didn't know how to receive it or reject it, or you didn't know how to assess it or evaluate it. So here I'm giving you what you need, apply it, and walk in it. All right. Well, as I always say, Dorarena loves you, and remember always to walk in wisdom. All right. I'm excited for you as you grow into these uh, things that have been placed in your heart, your assignment. Fulfill it. We need it. All right. Good night.